Good afternoon. My name is Logan Wilson. I'm a teacher and coach at the Carthage Junior High. I'd like to take this opportunity to speak to you about our student handbook, our code of conduct, how the different sections of it, how it works, etc. The first main part I'd like to talk about are the three main sections of our student handbook. The first one would be school procedures. This is going to be the daily schedule and procedures of our school. This is going to include what students do when they get to school, what happens during the school day, and going back home. It also includes attendance policies, it includes emergency drills, other things that are going to help our school run smoothly from a day-to-day basis. The next thing that it talks about is student behaviors and expectations. This basically talks about the expectations of students, what they should and should not be doing to help the learning environment and to create a better learning environment for all students. It also includes the discipline matrix, so if students do not uphold to the student expectations that are given to them, it gives us a very consistent and fair way of changing those behaviors. And then the third section would be student activities and expectations. So it gives us a opportunity to look at the requirements and the expectations of students that are going to be a part of extracurricular activities. It also gives a list of clubs or activities that students can join, and it kind of describes each one of those so students knows what are offered to them. The next section that I would like to talk about are the people and the processes if we want to change the student handbook. The main people involved with that would be the school administration, Ms. Bogle and Ms. Fields. It's also going to include our guiding coalition, which is a group of teachers that we entrust with leadership and with their input to help give the teachers a voice. So the guiding coalition might have suggestions, other stakeholders might have suggestions. Those are going to be given to Ms. Bogle and Ms. Fields. They choose what goes in or out of the student handbook on a year-to-year basis. And then if we make the updates to the year handbook, it's going to be given to the school board and the superintendent for final approval. The next part I'd like to talk about is how we share our handbook with our stakeholders. We want to make sure all stakeholders have an option to see the handbook and be aware of our expectations of our students and the school. The first thing we do is we publish the school handbook on our website. This way everyone has access to it at any time, and we always make sure that it's up to date at a year-to-year basis. We also include a copy of the student handbook within the planner that every student and every teacher gets at the beginning of the year. This way it's always on hand, or should be on hand, as the students go through the school day. We also at the beginning of the year give a letter to the students to give to their parents, and they have to bring that back signed by their parent or guardian, and it basically states that they have read and understood the student handbook and so forth. And then lastly, possible changes or recommendations to the student handbook. We always want to make sure that our handbook is up to date with current situations. For example, some situations change on a regular basis, and we want to keep those up to date and relevant to our students. So some examples might be technology, student needs, or community norms, just to name a few. One other thing that we are trying to incorporate into our student handbook is a way to give the students a voice. So we want students to have ownership of their handbook. We want them to have ownership of their education. We also want to give them an opportunity to lead within their school. It gives them a chance to reflect on the handbook, and it gives them a chance to be more relative to themselves because they actually had a hand in making their own expectations. So that concludes basically my presentation of the student handbook. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer those for you. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.